So you're thinking about starting your own social media marketing agency. Well,
That's a really great goal to have.
it is. It's exciting. And it seems like more and more people are going that route these days.
Yeah, definitely.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into a recent plannable article that lays out a 10-step roadmap for doing just that.
Yeah.
We'll be pulling out those unexpected gotchas, those highlights and insights from real agency founders.
Yeah, what I really like about this article is
Consider this your crash course in SMMA 101.
I like that it doesn't shy away from the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get caught up in the excitement of starting an agency,
Right.
but there are some real hurdles.
Yeah, for sure.
And this roadmap really tackles those head on.
Yeah. So this roadmap starts off by asking, are you a savvy social media marketer looking to transform your expertise into a flourishing business?
And honestly, I think that's the dream, right? To have a flourishing business.
Right, but it's got to be more than just being savvy, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What more is there to it?
So to have a really flourishing agency, you have to really define your space. And this article digs into that, like right from the get-go, which is really important, I think. The
Okay.
idea of niching down early on.
Okay.
And they're very clear that it's more than just saying, oh, I work with restaurants or something like that.
So it's not enough to just pick an industry.
It's not enough to pick an industry.
Okay, so help me unpack that a little bit. So it's not enough to just say, I work with X industry. What else do we have to do?
Right. So the article actually quotes an agency founder. Right.
Holly Hoadley.
Okay.
And Holly points out that if you get too industry specific, you can actually end up kind of competing with yourself.
Oh, interesting.
They give a funny example, like if you were the underwater basket weaving social media agency,
Okay.
like you're the underwater basket weaving social media person, like you've really limited your pool of clients.
Yeah. And probably your own brain.
And probably how much you want to actually
Yeah.
work with those people.
Yeah. I can see how that would get old quick.
Yeah, so it's about finding that sweet spot. And Holly calls it finding your X factor, right?
Oh, okay.
So you have your niche, but what's the thing that you bring?
What's your superpower?
What's your unique, what's your unfair advantage?
Right.
Like maybe you have cracked the code for creating viral TikTok content.
Right. Maybe you have this insane, like this crazy good network of influencers in a very specific niche,
Okay.
but you need that thing.
You need that thing that makes you stand out.
That makes you stand out.
Especially when you're trying to like get clients, you're pitching against other agencies. You're like, well, we do this, but we also have this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And that actually leads perfectly into the next crucial step that the article emphasizes, which is having a solid business plan.
It seems like a given, having a business plan.
That thing, right.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people listening right now are like, yeah, business plan. I'm definitely going to get to that.
Yeah, it's so easy to skip.
I'll
Especially
redesign my logo.
if you're coming from a really creative background.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Which a lot of social media people are.
Right.
But this article does a good job at breaking down the essentials, your mission, who you're trying to reach, like your target audience, financial projections, like how much money do you actually need to make this thing work?
Right.
And it even offers some surprisingly like in-depth advice on pricing, which I thought was really cool.
Okay. Because I feel like that's one of the trickiest
Well,
things
tricky.
for anybody starting their own business.
Yeah.
But especially an agency. It's like, how much do I charge? How much is too much? Am I undervaluing myself?
It's such a common thing for creatives to undersell themselves early on.
Totally.
And this article really tackles it head on
Okay.
because it encourages you to really consider your income goals. Like how much money do you actually want to make?
Right.
What are your expenses?
Right.
And of course, the value that you bring to the table,
Of course.
you have to actually believe that what you're doing is worth charging for.
For sure. Because you can really make or break your business right there in those early days if you're not charging enough.
You really can. And this is where I think the article gets extra insightful because they actually quote another agency owner, Pip Hawkins, who cautions against getting too married to your initial plan.
Oh, so you don't just like set it in stone and then never
You'd think.
look at it again.
No, you think you're done, right?
Yeah.
You wrote your business plan. You're ready to go.
It's on the shelf. It's beautiful.
It's on the shelf. But the market changes
Oh, constantly.
all the time. You have to be willing to adapt. And Pip really emphasizes being open to evolving what you offer based on what your clients actually need, not just what you thought they were going to need.
So it's almost like treating your business plan like a living document
Exactly.
instead of something that's just like, okay, I'm going to put this in a drawer.
Yeah, you're not carving it in stone.
Exactly.
It's something
Right.
that can be changed and will probably need to be changed.
Right. It's a starting
A
point.
starting point.
Right. Okay. So we've niched down. We've got our business plan. We're treating it like a living document.
Yes.
Not going to carve it in stone quite yet.
Yeah.
What's next? Yeah. That flexibility is probably what allows you to really figure out what works best for you in your business.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of finding what works, the article also digs into getting those first few clients,
Yeah.
which can be a hurdle.
Yeah.
When you're brand new, you're like, okay, I have this great idea. I have this niche. I have a business plan.
Right.
Now, how do I get someone to actually hire me to do it?
Yeah.
What did the article say really works?
So this is where I think the article gets surprisingly tactical, which I appreciate.
Okay.
They actually call out email marketing as being super effective.
Really?
I know, you would think, like, social media marketing agency, they're going to be all about social media.
Right, exactly. That's their bread and butter.
But the article makes a really good argument that in the beginning stages, especially, email can be even more powerful.
Interesting. Okay, so why is that? Why would that be?
Well, if you think about it, when you are first starting out, you probably don't have this massive social media following yet, right?
Right.
You're still building your audience.
You're working on your own stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But what you do have is a network.
Right.
You have people that you know, people you've worked with before, maybe friends and family, people who already kind of trust you.
Right.
And you can reach out to them directly through email.
It's almost like it's more personal in a way
It is more personal.
than a social media post that just blasts out to everybody.
Exactly. It's like this very direct line. And you can really make that pitch personalized,
Okay.
which is something that you just really can't do as effectively on social media.
So it's almost like going back to basics in a way.
It is, yeah.
Like how you would gotten clients like way back in the day.
Totally. And plus, email kind of cuts through all the noise of social media algorithms.
Sure.
Like, you're not guaranteed that your post is going to be seen.
Right. And even if it is seen, are people actually reading the caption? Are they clicking the link?
Right, exactly.
With an email, if they open it, at least they're there. They're present with the information.
They're there. So the article actually quotes, again, Pip Hawkins, and Pip attributes a significant chunk of their early growth to email marketing.
Okay, so it's definitely something to keep in mind. Like, don't just go straight to the big social media strategy right away.
Don't forget the basics.
Yeah.
Email still works.
Don't forget about those people who actually already know you and love you and want to support you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. So, okay, we're getting those early clients through email marketing.
Yes.
What comes next?
So building on those early client wins, the article shares some wisdom from another agency founder, Lindsay Crone. And Lindsay talks about the importance of starting local.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Even if it feels, a little less glamorous than going after those big name clients right away.
Right. You don't get the same clout.
Not at first.
If you're like, yeah, I work with Joe's Pizza.
Right, exactly. But Lindsay's point is that building relationships and a good reputation in your own community can set you up for bigger things later on.
So it's like building a foundation.
It is. It's like you prove yourself, you exceed expectations, and then you get those really valuable referrals.
Right. Because people trust recommendations.
Exactly.
Especially from people that they know.
And the article really underscores the importance of referrals, especially for newer agencies.
Yep. Word of mouth is everything when you're first starting out because you don't necessarily have the portfolio yet to really wow people. But if you're like, oh yeah, so-and-so used them and their stuff's amazing, that goes a long way.
Totally.
Okay, so we've talked about niching down the business plan, getting those first clients, starting local. What else?
So now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the tools that can help you succeed.
Ooh, tools.
Because it wouldn't be a real deep dive without talking about the tools of the trade, right?
Of course not.
So the article specifically calls out 3 platforms: Plainable, Social Insider, and Active Campaign.
Okay, let's break them down.
Okay.
So Plainable, I'm familiar with Plainable. It's great for streamlining content creation, getting client approvals on everything.
Oh my gosh.
Which can be a nightmare sometimes, just going back and forth.
It's a nightmare. And Plainable just makes it so much easier with that visual content calendar and the built-in approval workflows.
Yeah, it's like having a virtual project manager to keep everybody on the same page.
Right.
Okay, what about Social Insider? What does that bring to the party?
So Social Insider is all about the data.
Okay.
Specifically, competitor analysis and benchmarking. So you can see what your competitors are doing, identify industry trends, make sure that you're really positioning your clients effectively.
So you can stay ahead of the game. You know what's working.
Exactly, because knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the fast-paced world of social media.
Yes. 100%, you got to know what's going on.
You got to stay on top of things.
Okay, makes sense. So Planable, we've got Social Insider, and lastly, we have Active Campaign.
Active campaign.
I'm the least familiar with that one. What's the gist? So Active Campaign is less about the actual, like, creating social media posts and more about what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Active campaign is all about automating your marketing and sales funnel.
Okay.
So it helps you nurture those valuable leads and guide them through the sales process
Okay.
in a more streamlined way. And, remember how we were talking about email marketing earlier?
Right.
ActiveCampaign can actually help you automate those campaigns and make sure you're staying top of mind with potential clients.
So it's like having a little assistant in there,
Yes,
reminding people about you.
exactly. Like a virtual assistant who's really focused on keeping that sales pipeline flowing.
I like it. Okay, so we've talked about Planable, Social Insider, Active Campaign.
Yeah.
If we zoom out a little bit from the specific tools,
Yeah. Yeah.
is there kind of a larger takeaway here about the types of tools that are being recommended?
For sure. I think the big takeaway here is efficiency. Okay.
Because as a new agency owner, you wear so many hats.
So many hats.
You're doing everything and anything that needs to get done.
Right. You are the business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And having these tools that can automate some of those tasks,
Mm-hmm.
improve collaboration, give you like data-driven insights,
Yeah.
it frees you up to actually focus on the big picture stuff.
Right. Because it's really easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day and forget
Totally.
about the bigger vision.
Totally. And the article actually ends on, I think, a really important note about building genuine relationships with clients,
Yes.
which I love
It's
because
not just about churning out content.
it's not just a factory.
Right. It's about connecting with these people.
It's about becoming an extension of their team.
Right. Which I love. I love that. Me too. And that resonated so much with me because I think in a world of increasingly automated marketing, that human element is your superpower.
It is.
Like that's what people are really looking for.
Right. And you can tell when you're working with someone and they get it.
You can totally tell.
And they understand you as a business owner and you understand them.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference.
It makes all the difference.
I've even had clients that turned into really good friends.
I love that. Yes.
It's because you spend so much time with them.
Yeah.
You're talking about their business.
You're invested.
You get to know them personally.
Yeah.
And that's when, at least for me, I've done my best work.
Totally, because it stops feeling transactional.
Yeah.
And it becomes this like, we're achieving something bigger together. And I think that's what elevates a good agency to a great agency.
I love it.
That shared purpose, that genuine partnership.
Awesome. So for anyone listening out there who's like, okay, I'm ready to do this social media marketing agency thing.
Yeah.
What are our takeaways? What are we leaving them with?
Find your niche. Figure out what your X factor is.
It's superpower.
Your superpower.
Love it.
Have a business plan, but be willing to adapt it and never underestimate the power of building real relationships.
Yes. And then equip yourself with some great tools
Yes.
to make your life easier.
100%. So you can focus on those big picture things.
Amazing. Well, this was a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for breaking down this article with me.
Yeah, of course.
It was fascinating.
It was fun.
And for everyone listening, we'll be back next week with another deep dive into a topic that matters to you.
See you next time.